Welcome to this video. My name is Christian from Beyond Premiere, and the first 3 episodes of The Boys Season 3 are here, where we see the return of our favorite characters, as well as what is going to be the direction of this season.
Should be thanking Christ that I am who and what.
So get ready for an incredible season. So the first episode, we see the film Dawn of the Seven. This is heavily inspired by Zack Snyder Justice League, including #release the boycott. They were going to cancel Dawn of the Seven, but the film was a success thanks to the hashtag. This is a real hashtag, and we even had a trailer for the film. It's gonna be releasing Bot International on Twitter. They released also some posters about this film, just hyping up the season. The beginning is that film that was reshot. We see the statue of Soldier Boy, which we're gonna see this season, as well as the energy drink that we're going to see later as well, going from the trailer. Stormfront is back, played by Charlize Theron. She also played a purple character this year in Doctor Strange. Also, this scene is amazing. The BFX show they invest good money to make this fake movie. We see where we are, which is the premiere of Dawn of the Seven. We see Stan Edgar and more, as well as the mindset of how Homelander is dealing with all of this. In the world premiere, we are introduced to Supersonic. In the comics, he was part of the Young Americans and had a relationship with Starlight, something that we're going to see as well this season. We see Adam taking the #release the boycott, and we get to see where are the characters this season. Starlight continues to be in a relationship with Huey, and someone in the crowd says Nadia, a character that we see later in the episode. We see Batemundo, a take on Telemundo, a Spanish network. We see Stan Edgar and Victoria Newman, and the twist that happens with those two characters. And they tease what is going to happen with her and him in the next episode, as well as the end of the episode. From the aftermath, we can see Homelander saying the same thing over and over again. In the bathroom, we see a weird interaction of Bork and Ashley. Again, I cannot share because of YouTube, but anyways, we can see what's going on with Ashley. And Butcher is back. So what's happening with Butcher? Well, he's working for the CIA and Huey for the FBSC. They're set to capture a superhero who are doing illegal activities. In this party, Frenchie and Kimiko are working for the CIA as well, looking for the superhero. And hey, Amazon. So they split up, and Kimiko is a fan for music. We think she's singing, but it's all in her head because she's dreaming of singing and having a normal life. Something we see in the next episode where she talks with Frenchie about how she feels about things. Now we have a super powered individual that turns small and is doing something that I cannot describe because I will get demonetized. But think that of Ant-Man entering somewhere that I cannot describe as well. But this scene is just crazy. It's gross, and I cannot show it as well because YouTube will demonetize my channel. But yeah, imagine Ant-Man doing crazy things. It's gonna be crazy, and it shows how this season is going to be awesome. So this character accidentally explodes him. Butcher is able to capture the character named Termite. This is not the first time we see the character, as in the YouTube channel of Bot, we see Pocket Romance for Bot Plus, so it connects to that YouTube channel, as we see also Cameron Coleman later in the episode. So what happened is that Butcher is able to capture Termite in a bag full of white powder, and is able to control himself from hurting the Termite guy. He's working for the CIA, but hey, the boys is back. We also get a routine of Huey, who continues to be with Starlight, and we get a look at their routine together. It's nice to see them having a nice relationship before everything changed in the next episodes. The music of Uptown Girl is back, who Huey is a fan of. Huey's life is different, he works out, he has a girlfriend, his life is going alright, and hey, he even has a job. Also, Simon Peck is back for a small cameo. If you remember that Huey in the comics is based on the look of Simon, so this was nice to see again. Everyone was asking where the actor was. Now moving into Victoria Newman in the FBSA, where she is a director and Huey works for her. They are set to stop all the super doing crimes, as well as the exchange that they have. Something that we see here is that Robert Singer is running for president, maybe foreshadowing the future of Victoria Newman. In the comics, Victoria Newman is a guy, and he's the president of the US. Let's see what happens with this. So we see a conversation of Victoria Newman and Huey and that work relationship that they have before what happens in this episode and in the next. The interesting thing about this is this guy looking for Nadia. Her backstory is really important going from the next episode, as is a big twist. In the safe house, Butcher continues his promise to look out for Ryan. He doesn't see him as a son, but we can see how he's keeping a watch after the promise that he did to Becca. But Ryan feels the guilt after what happened. Let's see in which direction Ryan is taking this season. Butcher, while working for the CIA, has not drunk or done anything bad because we can see how he cares about Ryan and doing the right thing for now. Homelander is doing press and his ego is always going to be first, and he is pissed that he was not first and how the Deep got the spot before him. The Deep is working on a book and Homelander gets mad at how he got the spot first. Now, if you remember, Cameron Coleman is based on the YouTube channel following Cameron, and it was nice to see him here. We get to see the character of MM, who is a father, and he's in the superhero birthday based on the 7. MM is trying to get back with Monique, but she already moved on. But it was nice to see how he's just living a normal life as well before everything goes in different direction in the next episode. We continue with the characters R, which is something that I love about this episode. B24 is going to be a big focus. There's one dose that will work for 24 hours, and how this is going to bring a lot of money to Bot. Stan Edgar is working on a big deal to bring Compound B to the army. Now he talks about a crime on Lagos, which has a connection to Civil War, where this is where in that film Scarlet Witch does a horrible destruction of the building. It was a nice Easter egg. He says how he can pull some strings on Congress, and it cuts to Victoria. So why her? This is why we see in the next episode. And she mentions a few superheroes that are going to be exchanged because of Tormite, because he has a show, which is something that I just talked about. In Cold Snap is from the comics, it's Stacker. And the other one, I did not understood what she said, but Stacker is a member of the G-Men, which is like a bad version of the X-Men, as well as Cold Snap, which we see later, which we have a glimpse of him in some promotional material, which I'm going to go ahead and show here. Now they're working out of the Flatiron building, which is a real building, and this is actually the location where the Daily Bugle was in the original Spider-Man film, so this was a nice Easter egg as well. And we can see how they're both working in different areas in stopping superheroes. Butcher doesn't want to stop, and we can see how much they have changed in 1 year. Butcher waits for some tea, and we see his dog. He also has footage about what happened with Homelander and Queen Maeve, and this tea goes louder and louder, waiting to explode, and he also has a target in mind, this being Homelander, just to get revenge on the death of Becca. Now the story changes with Starlight. She's been set to be co-captain, and Homelander's not happy about this, so we can see as well how his ego is hurt. He's pissed about this decision, and how his identity is destroyed layer by layer. So yes, Starlight will become the new co-captain of the 7. We continue with the Deep and how he's promoting his book and talking about how he escaped the Church of the Collective. Now, American Hero is a new show where we see Drummer Boy, aka Supersonic. He dated Starlight, which was so nice to see, and I imagine Huey gets jealous of this. They talk about how they did a lot of things when they were young, and it's nice to see the relationship of Huey and Starlight, which is hilarious as well as that connection that they have. This is when Starlight is actually thinking about being co-captain and how she wants to be a good guy and actually make a difference. We cut to Bot, we can see how Homelander is pissed, and like the tea, he's also waiting to explode and let it out. He takes it on A-Train, who's getting fed, and he has his powers, but if he runs, he can have a heart attack. Homelander is a bully, and we can see that here. And how Queen Maeve is gonna fix this? Well, she has a communication with Butcher. Homelander goes to his room, where we see the return of Stormfront, who's actually really destroyed after that fight. It seems she can talk, but going from episode 2, we know she can, so I imagine that Homelander is actually imagining all of this, including that we're seeing. So what is real and what is fake? In Butcher's office, Queen Maeve is the one that gave the B-24, giving Butcher power for 24 hours. They have a plan to use the weapon that hurt Soldier Boy to use it in Homelander. We also have a look at Payback, different from the comics. They team up just to get payback on Homelander. Later, he arrives to Butcher's house, and they have a conversation. Homelander wants to know where Ryan is. The conversation is to make a pact. The pact is so they have a different destiny. Who's going to be the last one standing? I just love this scene and cannot wait to see more of this. The end of the episode ends with Tony, a guy who knows Victoria and also has powers. She knows him and they have a fight. She wants to explain what happened to him, which is not explained. However, she explodes his head. And we get to see where the fight ends up. Due to YouTube, I cannot show the gore scenes, but no, this doesn't end well for Tony. But what an incredible way to start the season. He was horrified about what happened, and this is just the first episode. Now moving into episode 2, BTV television for women can be a take on Lifetime. Here we see what they're doing, a take on the events of the deep with the Church of the Collective and having control of the deep, having those super cheesy, low budget filming. Alistair is played by Billy Zane, which you know from Titanic. Not Without My Dolphin, if you remember what happened with the dolphin in season 1, is a film that we're going to see. Now we get a commercial of the B birthday of Homelander, which we're going to see in this episode. And Butcher continues to think about taking B-24. He also has some type of visions, having a conversation with different people, which in the screen we see Homelander as well as Lenny. Lenny in the comics, as you know, is Butcher's brother, who died after getting hit by a bus. But this is just imagination. We continue with the relationship of that of Butcher and Ryan, and how Butcher sees this as an opportunity to just take care of Ryan. We see Homelander talking to Stormfront, so we can see how she cannot talk anymore, and she cannot take it anymore. She's sick of everything going from what happened in this episode. Now Red River is where Victoria Grumman grew up, and she's going to be a villain this episode. It's an adoptive organization for super kids. This storyline this season is going to be awesome. Starlight tells him to wait, but he doesn't, and he goes there to investigate. Now we get a awesome song that is so catchy, which is License to Drive. Supersonic is going to dance in the birthday of Homelander, and this is good because we see the relationship of them, what it's going to be like. Of course, Homelander has to be racist with Supersonic, talking about Mexican food, and talking Spanish to him. Homelander wants to make everyone's life horrible. But why Butcher goes to MM? Well, there's some connections to Soldier Boy. In the previous episode, there's a sign that says his name, so we can see how it's going to be connected to Soldier Boy and some history that MM happened. In the apartment is apartment 44, which is the number of Jackie Robinson, and it appears Soldier Boy did something to his family, including his dad, but MM denies before providing a folder with information on Soldier Boy. We get confirmation that it appears that his family was hurt in a fire caused by Soldier Boy. In Botland, Kimiko and Frenchie go there here to get Crimson Countess, who is working as a singer in Botland. And we also see a different side of Kimiko. She's intrigued about everything in her life, including cotton candy, and those things that she not had as a child, including that relationship with her brother. It's going to be really interesting to see what's going to be the direction of the character this season. Soldier Boy reminds me of the scenes of Captain America, those black and white films. Crimson Countess is played by Laurie Holden, and she said for a price you can meet her. And as you can see here, for a price you can meet her and everything she does for money. The footage reminds me of that of Tiger King, so who knows. So they want more information on what happened to Soldier Boy, and they want to capture her so she can provide what happened to him. However, she escapes, and this is when she accidentally kills the wrong person. Again, cannot show, but this is going to bring issues to the plan. He was still shocked about Victoria Newman, and even more surprised about how Supersonic is picking up Starlight's phone. Those things will make him jealous, but he takes the decision to go to Red River. We can see how Homelander makes the life worse of Starlight, and how Homelander is in this episode making the life worse for Starlight. We know why, because he doesn't want her to be co-captain. Stan is there confirming that people watch because of Starlight, hurting Homelander's ego even more. A-Train wants to create an image for himself, and he wants to create different ways to contribute, as he no longer can use his powers. Red River is an institution where kids have powers which you can adopt, which is the excuse that Huey makes. He stole data and the details from the Red River Institute, which show details about Nadia and the things she did. Huey discovered that Nadia was adopted by none other than Stan Edgar, connecting more to the last episode. Stan legally became her father. Butcher goes to a firearm convention to talk with Gunpowder to get details as well on Soldier Boy and how he was a part of Payback. I love how Butcher sees as a kid and how you get those beliefs since you're a kid. He complains about Soldier Boy, accusing him of assault. He wants to know what happened to Soldier Boy, but he has to take a different approach after getting shot by him. So Gunpowder is like Hawkeye, but with guns. So Homelander is going to save someone, but what happened is that he gets the news that Stormfront died. This affects him deeply, and this will make the show more awesome. But this makes him pissed, pushing the girl to do what she wanted from the beginning, and he is destroyed. He is off the rails, which was something that we see at the end of the episode. In the FBSA, we get the investigation of Victoria and the discovery that she was adopted. This makes the story better. Huey is really hard on himself, but he discovers that everything is set up and that he's not really doing any change, which shows why his decision changed at the end of the episode. Emmett takes back his daughter back to his house, and he takes the decision to go back and help. He has a conversation with Monique and how he has to solve this and this trauma that he had when he was a child. He wants to stop Soldier Boy or discover something on how to stop him. We get to see the pain he created in his life because of this. The last minutes in the building, we get to see how Kimiko is dealing with all the situation and how she says she's broken. This was my favorite part of the episode so far. So how the episode ends? Well, Butcher feels sad what happens with Becca and the voiceover push him to take B-24. Huey is back and wants to take the system down. Butcher takes B-24 and go question Gunpowder. Butcher is powerful and has his powers. This was my favorite part of the episode. Before dying, Gunpowder explains the CIA knows what happens with Soldier Boy. Now Butcher really hurts the guy, even turning his eyes yellow. Adrian also have a knee suit inspired by his roots. At the end of the episode, Homelander is pissed at everything and everyone, and goes off the rails. This is the moment he shows his ego. We can see how he inspires the ground people that believe everything. Homelander is crazy, and I'm excited to see the mentality the upcoming episodes. But what are your thoughts on the first 2 episodes? Thank you so much for watching. My name is Christian from Beyond Premiere, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.